The color white has such a fascinating history that I wanted to share it all with you guys and girls. So join me on this journey. It is suspected that deposits of chalk were used as one of the first pigments around 10,000 BCE. That is the Neolithic era. This discovery was followed up by discovering lead around 6,500 BCE. But it wasn't until the 1900s that the toxicity of lead was discovered. In fact, about 50% of the homes built before 1978 have lead in some form or another in and within their foundations. However, lead was used not just for makeup, but also as a ceramic inlay for tiles and mosaics, and as a painting pigment for hundreds of years, due to how vibrant the lead paint was. All of this being said, though, lead is very toxic and should not be handled without proper protection and disposal. Please do not attempt to do so unless you are a professional. Lead white had a few names, such as flake white or stack lead white, all depending on how the pigment was made. It was during the 1500s that people started whitewashing homes, fences, dairies, and kitchen spaces. Part of the reason whitewashing was done was to help reflect the light in places and areas that were dark. The other benefit of whitewashing dairies and kitchen spaces is the way the whitewash pigment was made also had antimicrobial properties, helping to keep those spaces sanitary, while also enabling the people who worked in those locations to keep the spaces clean due to being able to see more of the messes, spills, and leaks in those areas. However, I digress. These antimicrobial properties did not fully protect against illnesses or diseases, but it did help. In modern times, we use different shades of white made from non-toxic pigments as wall covers, flooring, accent colors, and wallpapers, but also in home decor and so much more. It was around 1791 that William Gregor, a clergyman in England, discovered titanium dioxide. This was a safer pigment to use, but was more expensive, making lead pigments more desirable to use, until artisans discovered a smaller amount of the pigment, titanium dioxide, went a lot further. However, lead paint and products were widely produced and used until the 1970s, while titanium dioxide gained popularity in the early 1900s. Today, titanium dioxide is used in many items, from pigments to sunscreen and even food. However, foods and some products that contained titanium dioxide is banned throughout Europe due to the genetic damage ingesting large amounts of titanium dioxide does. If you've learned something from this video, please do like the video, subscribe, and click that bell notification. If you want early access to these longer videos, click down below to become a patron. There are many different tiers. Anyways, back to our subject. Overall, obtaining the pigment white wasn't always safe or easy. With how to get or make the color white, the process is part of what gave the pigment monetary value. The quality of the pigment also gave value, with lead paints not being as vibrant and taking more applications of the paint, making titanium dioxide more expensive, but giving more bang for the price. Is there anything in the history of the pigment white that surprised you when you watched this video? Let me know down in the comments below. And now, my friends, that we have covered the history of the pigment white, let's get started on the many uses and ways the color white is used in witchcraft. And together, we will go over different properties the color white has and how to promote those properties into our daily lives. When it comes to the color white, it is commonly used to represent whatever color is needed for the spell or ritual. Associated with the following zodiac signs: Aries, Cancer, Capricorn, Gemini, Pisces, and Virgo. The color white has links to the days Monday and Sunday, with ties to the elements earth, air, fire, and water, having associations to the directions north, south, east, and west. But do not forget, white is still considered a universal color and therefore can be used in place as a representation of all other colors, making the color white a representation of all deities as well. The color white can be used for so many of your witchcraft needs, but here's a short list: balance, beginnings, blessings, clarity, compassion, creativity, divination, grounding, guidance, healing, inspiration, peace, protection, purification, and spirituality. When using a white candle to represent other colors, you can easily carve the color you need into the side of the white candle. Please be careful while doing so. Another method is to go ahead and use oil that is associated and affiliated with the spells that you are working on. If you all want more ways to incorporate the color white and its witchcraft properties into your lives, let me know down in the comments below and I will create a follow-up video. I hope you all have a wonderful time. Thank you all so very much for watching. Blessed be, and bye for now.